So in today's world, there are people using cryptocurrencies for the day-to-day needs, and India is emerging as a digital world where people are paying through online applications like PhonePay, Google Pay, and so on. But in this emerging bubble, there isn't any platform that facilitates both the crypto and fiat transactions using a common payment method. So we are creating an application, and we have created an application which simulates the process of transactions both in fiat and cryptocurrencies using a common payment method, which is the UPI ID. So the UPI ID generated through a rigorous KYC process will be used by the user to pay or request funds, both the fiat funds and the crypto funds. And we have also created a powerful dashboard to manage and track the transactions. And then we introduce a novel approach of uncollateralized loans by leveraging flash loans. So let's start with a quick demonstration. So we have a user, Aditya Kumar here. We will begin by verifying his KYC, which will be the first step in linking our wallet address with the UPI ID. So we'll begin by entering the IFSC code. And it's 11-digit code. And once that is done, we'll be entering the account holder name, which is Aditya itself. And we'll be entering the 16-digit account address. And we'll be entering the type, which will be savings here. And we'll be depositing 1,000 rupees. Yeah, so this is the last step of the KYC where we have to give in a wallet address to link it with our UPI ID that is generated. Yeah, so now our KYC is successfully done, and you can see that our MetaMask ID is linked and masked with our UPI ID. All right, so this is the profile page of our user, and we have options like where we can edit the user details, and we also have, yeah, so we begin, let me show you a demonstration name. Let's save the changes. Yeah, and we also have some gift cards coupons here, which are applicable for the user based on his transactions. Okay, so now the user is ready to pay or request crypto funds. So this is our main feature here. So currently, if you can see here, we have two assets available, the USDC and the DAI token. So let's begin by, yeah, so these are the two assets the user has available right now. And let's say he has to send it to a UPI ID or, yeah. And the first step would be is to select the asset that from where he has to transfer the funds. So in our case, it will be USDC. And the amount, let's say it is, let's say he wants to send 500 to that amount. And let's call it tickets, movie tickets or something like that. Now the user will have to pay. And yeah, so you can see here that we have three fields. We have the transaction fee, and we have also have the MTM fee, which is the market to market fee, which is used to marginalize any change in the market. So that is used to compensate for the market changes. So the total USDC that the user will be paying will be 7.22 USDC. Now let's proceed with the payment. The MetaMask is loading, yeah, and it's here. So now we have to confirm the transaction, and once that is done, you might have to wait for a few more seconds until it gets validated. Yeah, you can see it's currently in the pending state. It should not take so much time. And yeah, in the meantime, you can also see this is the dashboard I was talking about, and we have the details here and the recent activity, which will be, yeah, so anyway, our transaction is now completed. And if we just refresh the feed, and let's go back here. All right, so now the payment is successful, and you can see in the recent activity. Yes. So now let's move on to request. There's another feature. So like pay, we can also request funds from other users. So we have two types, the outgoing and incoming requests. So let's create a request. Let's request for the UPI ID. Let's use the same UPI ID here. We'll request this UPI ID for, let's say 100 for, let's say, snacks that I got from him. Now let me request it. Yeah, we have to, 1 second. So now that we have requested for an outgoing request, at the other end, the user will now see it as an incoming request. So the similar way, we can also receive incoming requests through which we can pay through the payment method that I have showed you here. So this is the payment service that we have created for this unique through UPI ID, right? So this is the same payment method that will be used here for the incoming request that we receive from the other users. So just to show you how it's reflected on the other end, we will log into the other account that we used, the UPI ID. So let's move to the other end of the user. So where you have received an incoming request. So this is how it would appear. So now when we click on the pay, we will be able to pay the money to the payment method that we have created. So now let's move on to the next part of application, which is the uncollateralized loan using flash loans. So we have implemented an arena-based approach. So arenas is nothing but you can think about as a bot, which will automate all the process for you. So flash loan by nature is a very technical concept, and you really can't find any real life example in the real world. So it's a completely blockchain based concept. So we developed a novel approach to request a flash loan, and this is the approach through a bot. The bot will take care of everything for you. So what we have to do is, for the first step would be used to select a bot. So the select a bot, I mean by locking it. So to lock a bot, we have to lock an arena, basically, we have to deposit 5 USDC, as you can think of as a minimum safety deposit. It's not a safety deposit, a minimum deposit to lock it. So once that is done, you'll have to wait for some time. And this is we are using the code-based mechanism. So after every 10 seconds, we will be fetching the data, the arena is locked or is used by as an active or active by another user or not. So let's avail status here if the transaction is successful. I think it's still pending. Yeah, it's still in the pending process, maybe due to huge traffic in the network. So once that is done, so as you can see here, the arena is now locked for us. So now we can proceed to enter the loan amount that we want to get, we want to get the flash loan for. So let's say we want to get around 100 USDC as a loan. So let's proceed for the flash loan. And this is the simulation that we have did. This is the USDC DAI arbitrage pair, which will give us around 10 USDC profit. So if we go with the proceed, let's proceed. I consent this and I'll proceed with the flash loan. And now, as you can see here, we are requesting for a flash loan, and the pool provider that we are using is Aave. That is the protocol provider too. And now I think it's still in the pending decisions. And once that is done, we will be able to see the history. Yeah, so it's successful. And let's click on okay. Yeah, so as you can see here, our flash loan is now successful and the arbitrage is also successful. Now to withdraw the amount, so we have to see the profit. That is a very important step to withdraw. Yeah, so as you can see here, we already deposit 5 USDC and the remaining 11 as a profit from arbitrage. So now after confirming it, once the transaction is done, we'll be able to, so now once that is done, we'll be able to get all the funds, the arbitrage profit. Yeah, so we got arbitrage profit here, and that is done. And now the status kind of moves to free. Yeah, so that's all about flash loan. Right. So our next feature is crypto tracker. So crypto tracker is all about it's about monitoring the current market value of all these stable cryptocurrencies. So these are the stable cryptocurrencies. As we all know, stable cryptocurrencies have a one-to-one relation with fiat currency. It's usually the USD, it's usually the US dollar. So this is also plays a huge impact on our crypto UPI, where we can decide the market fee accordingly. So we provide a dashboard for this, and we also provide a feature to convert the USD to a respective currency. In our case, we can convert the 200 USD to a Bitcoin. Next, we also have the trading bot. A trading bot is all about giving you the investing strategies, and we have used the Gemini LLM to achieve this. So as you can see here, based on the current market trend of Bitcoin, it gives us all the strategies for us.
So now we are entering a new scenario of fiat transactions where a user can send INR payments from one bank to another bank. Here, all the data is dynamic. We have fetched the data from backend, and as you can see, all the data like the account number is encrypted. Now here comes the transaction part. We will write the user's sender address. And then we'll write the receiver address, which will be UPI 79C98. We are fetching it from backend, BAA 6112. Amount to send would be 40, and I want to save some amount as my savings amount. So let's say the 5% I want to save in my savings account. I'll do the transfer. Fail to send the transfer. I think there's an issue with the UPI address. So yeah, as we typed the UPI address by hand, there was a pretty mistake. This is the correct UPI address. We'll write the amount, and the percentage we want to save is 5%. We'll transfer the funds. And see, as you can see, the transaction has been successful. If I refresh and if I go back to my dashboard, you see that 2 transactions have been happened, and I've saved this much amount. And this is the history of the transactions. Now, this is an advanced money tracker which we have created for both crypto users and for INR users so that they can manage their finances for future. Let's take an example that a user has received a salary of 2000 USD. We'll select the salary, monthly salary, and it has been credited to his account. We'll add the transaction, and then we'll go to the dashboard. So this dashboard is dynamic, everything is fetched, and you can also download the status using QR code. Here we have created a AI bot using the large models of Gemini, which will give you the recommendations based on your previous transactions. If I'll write that I have spent $300 in watching a movie, and I'll get debited, then I'll go back to my dashboard, and if I click on the recommendation, so this will give me how my long-term goals, short-term goals, and how should I manage my finances so that it will help me in future. So it is taking some time. Yeah, so everything has came. As you can see that spending $300 in a movie, especially considered and all, as and for future and all at least aim. So everything has come. Yeah. So this was our application which we built. Thank you.